This voice recording is going to require some editing at the front end because I want to do a little bit of preamble. I am heading down to the Toronto Fan Expo. On my way down, I was able to find the last piece of my costume for cosplay. I am dressing up as Kes Dameron, the father of Poe Dameron, who was featured as he is the father of Kes Dameron. Sorry, he is the father of Poe Dameron, rebel pilot that was featured in what you people refer to as Episode 7, The Force Awakens. You might not know this, and I'm going to keep this short, but the films that you watch, the fiction that you think that you're enjoying is actually historical footage that was brought forward using holographic technology from my planet, Yavin 4. It was brought here to Earth hundreds of thousands of years in the future, and it was presented to a young man in film school by the name of George Lucas. Now, if you read his original, I think you Earthlings refer to it as a screenplay, I think. If you read the original Star Wars screenplay by George Lucas, it doesn't mention the Force, it doesn't mention lightsabers, it doesn't mention Tatooine, it doesn't mention my home planet. It talks about princess trying to escape with a general, Starkiller. That name came to George Lucas in a dream. The dream that he had was of the past, which, to a Force-aware person like George Lucas, comes pretty easily. His dedication to his craft, his capability of reproducing historical footage, is bar none some of the best in your planet's human history. Now, the truth is, when that dream occurred and he was having visions of the past, hundreds of thousands of years ago, a galaxy far, far away, he was tapping into an energy that was coming from the center of my planet. There's a tree that's been growing for hundreds of thousands of years on my planet that was gifted to me when I was about 44 years old. I had flown X-Wing for 37 years. I had killed thousands of Imperials, either from the air in an X-Wing, bombing runs in Y-Wings, ground forces as a Pathfinder with General Han Solo. The laser fire still rings in my ears. The sound of photon torpedoes blowing up haunts me every night of my life. When we bombed the shield generator on Endor, and I watched hundreds of little Ewok people slaughtered. Your historical document, I think you call it the Return of the Jedi. Luke wasn't a Jedi, by the way, at that point. Just saying. Your historical document might be a little bit inaccurate. But your movie that you thought was fiction, I flew over with a Y-Wing, and I saw hundreds of these poor creatures torn to shreds. torn to shreds. I watched my rebel brothers and sisters fall on Endor. General Han Solo led the forces. We never knew in a million years we were done, people. That battle, the rebels were done. But the Ewoks, we never asked them for help. We never asked them. We couldn't speak their language. Nobody could speak that. It wasn't like we were on Kashyyyk and we were talking to Wookiees. No one understood Ewok. But they picked up their staffs and they picked up their lumber and built massive traps that could destroy AT-AT walkers. AT-STs, torn to shreds by logs flying through the air, carefully tied only 10 feet above the heads of rebels below. These furry friends of ours saved everything. And I get to go to bed at night remembering what it was these little fuzzy creatures did. I did that, and I'm proud of it. I bombed the shield generator. I made the call back to General Akbar, and the bombing run was successful on Death Star 2. We never thought in a million years, after Death Star 2, that the Imperials could have the wherewithal to build Starkiller Base. Interesting, huh? This play, this stage play that a Force-aware man by the name of George Lucas invents, the last name of his original Luke Skywalker actually became the name of a base that was capable of destroying multiple planets in a system at the same time. Starkiller Base is the greatest perversion in the history of this universe. Brought to you by the one and only Darth Snoke. I don't even know what to call this beast. He is the last Sith in my heart. But like so many of these dark souls, Darth Vader, Darth Sidious, Darth Plagueis, Darth Maul, Snoke's invisible, Snoke's force, I can't feel him. I'm no Jedi, but I could always feel when a Jedi walked in the room. These Sith are terrifying. You can't feel them coming. They suck the force into them. They don't push it out the way we're supposed to. These beasts, these perversions of nature, they suck the force in, and they hide it. I'm going down to the Toronto Fan Expo as Kes Dameron, rebel pilot, so I can recruit. The battles that have recently occurred, led by my son, Poe Dameron, have left us in a very, very precarious situation. It feels as desperate as it was on Hoth when I gunned down 82 stormtroopers and watched once again, my rebel brothers and sisters fall. Frozen in the ice, left behind as we escaped, while these bullies take everything. Watch for Snoke, people. Be careful of what he can do. I haven't put all the pieces of the puzzle together yet, but I did take the time to watch George Lucas's historical documentation of my time. And it was there the whole time, right in front of my face. Yar Yar Binks, that Gungan piece of shit, and that awful Queen Amidala. Question: where were the Gungans when we fought on Hoth? Where were the Gungans when we needed them on Endor? Where was Queen Amidala's Naboobian forces when we needed them on Hoth and Endor? They just vanished. Ask yourself a question, people. How did a Gungan convince two Jedi? Those two men, Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi, God rest their souls. They were going to see Queen Amidala when they ran into that evil piece of shit. And what did he do? He waved his flappy little lizard arms around. And he said, Misa, we should go to Gungan City. And they followed him. They were on Jedi business to negotiate a trade deal with the Trade Federation in Naboo. They were on a diplomatic mission. And what did the Trade Federation do? Roll up mechas on them? We could have lost Obi-Wan Kenobi and Qui-Gon Jinn then, had the Trade Federation's droids actually had the power to defeat a Jedi. But no droid has ever taken out even that piece of shit, General Grievous. I wish I had torn his own chest out of his own heart out of his mechanical chest myself. Count Dooku, Darth Plagueis, all of these filthy, horrible, treacherous, evil people. I could feel it in my heart, people. Jar Jar Binks did not go into hiding. He went back to the Sith Academies because he controlled Sidious the whole time. Didn't he ask Senator Amidala and the Queen to go back home to Naboo? Misa, think you should go back to Naboo so you could be with your people, sir. Blah, blah, blah. And she did, flapping his shitty Dark Force hands around. Only to turn around the only people that could stop Senator Palpatine. The only ones that knew in their heart, because the Force, the darkness of the Force, that this Senator, Grand Chancellor, should not be in charge of the Galactic Senate. But Jar Jar Binks stood in front of every planet, including the extraterrestrials from another film that you humans call E.T. You look closely, people, E.T.s are actually voting for Palpatine as well. All of the planets, all at once applauding the choice to make Emperor Palpatine. I've seen the holo footage. It's perverse, and nobody noticed. Where was Bombastic General? I've spoken to the Gungan frog leader. Now, you leave a conversation with that alien and you're damp, moist from spit, but he's wise and beneficent. Not like that piece of shit Jar Jar Binks. And I will find him. When the Death Star 2 was destroyed, I strapped up with my Pathfinder brothers and sisters. I strapped up and I hunted Imperials. I found them hiding, plotting to use gases. Gases, people, to destroy entire planets because they had just lost their Emperor Palpatine. When all of these heinous generals, these piece of shit dressed in gray. Rogue One, people. Rogue 4, people. Rogue 5. We are rebel. We will find your shield generators. We will find your caches of poison. We will destroy every last plastic-clad, evil, storm-trooping, shock-trooping son of a bitch. We will kill you all with our bare hands if we have to. Because I am Kes Dameron. I watched Order 66 happen. I stood beside Jedi and watched them fall. Plagueis, Darth Sidious's clone army turning with 2 words, people. Order 66. If Jar Jar Binks hadn't made that vote, the clone armies would never have been installed. Naboo would never have seen clone troopers. And our brothers and sisters would be alive today. I can understand Mace Windu. I understand Mace being destroyed by Emperor Palpatine. But I'll guarantee you this, people, Mace Windu's a fucking tank. And he will be back. He hid like Yoda did when he was tossed across Coruscant like a rag doll with no respect for his love and his power and his purple lightsaber. Who else in the history of the Jedi wielded purple? I can understand the death of 2 fallen soldiers. Anakin Skywalker striking down his master. Oh wait, Luke Skywalker never had one. Watch your back, people. Skywalkers were broken from the beginning. There is something in their DNA. They're like Gondarks. They can't stop nipping at your heels. The Skywalkers are broken. If Rey gets to Luke and those 2 sad desert-dwelling scavengers who fought their whole lives for water actually get their shit together, we're in trouble, people. Luke has been left alone for too long. And as a result of he being gone for too long all by himself, he has looked into the future. And the future, my people, is anxiety. The past is depression. If you put 1 foot in the past and 1 foot in the future, you're just going to shit on the moment. And when Rey gets back to Luke, and when they start to strap up with their force-wielding abilities, I'm sorry, people. But we got two Siths. There must be two. And Snoke is not wearing the name Darth. Kylo Ren is not Darth Red. He is a Knight of Red. And who the hell are those? Could it be possible that Kylo Ren witnessed with his own eyes Luke Skywalker turning to the dark side as he, like his father, slaughtered all of the younglings in his own Jedi Academy? Is it possible, people, that maybe Luke, when he says in your quote-unquote cinematic trailer, it's historical fact, people, but when Luke Skywalker turns and says, the Jedi must end, what do you think he means? Sidious said it to Anakin. Darth Vader said it to his creepy bald apprentice, who secretly ran around Hoth behind my back. I'm strapped up with a blaster, freezing my digits off. And Darth Vader's sick and twisted, perverted little boy is running around in the ice of Hoth to undermine us, the rebels. You pieces of shit. I will scrape every last Sith off the bottom of my shoes, put them in my hookah pipe, and burn them to the ground. I'm a Pathfinder. General Han Solo made me the leader of the Pathfinders. We will find our way to each and every Imperial piece of scum, and we will destroy them. Because all I want for the future of my galaxy, all I want is for my son to stop having to murder people like I did and my wife Sharah Bey did our entire lives. I didn't want to kill anything. I'm retired and I'm a farmer. Sharah Bey and I, we sit in rocking chairs that we made by our own hands because we've gone into hiding. While my son flies in a black and red X-Wing. Why? Why do you think Poe painted his X-Wing that way? He's got that, and I'm scared for him. I heard that when Kylo Ren captured Rey, that my son killed 25 TIE fighters in less than 1 minute. With piloting like that, he's going to die, and I'm scared for my son. I don't want to lose Poe or his friend Finn. You called the movie The Force Awakens. Rey's forces were already beaming. The awakening is not in the heart of one girl who watched her youngling friends die as Kylo Ren watched his youngling friends die at the hand of Luke Skywalker? Are you kidding me? Oh shit, we're in trouble, people. We're in big trouble. Anakin was strong, but Luke, I don't know, he's a wild card and he scares the shit out of me. And if he gets Rey, that's two people, that's two Sith, potentially Sith people, back in our galaxy. And who's going to stop them? 14 Rebel X-Wings? We got 2 Y-Wings left. We don't have any fucking Y-Wings. Can't even do bombing runs. Everything we got to do is with phasers and torpedoes. This is a tragic time, people. We need engineers. We need TIE mechanics. We need people who actually understand quantum fusion. We need you now. We are recruiting still in our galaxy. The rebel forces will always find a path way. And I am the leader of the Pathfinders. General Han Solo gave me that. Before he was thrown into the abyss. You guys think that Kylo Ren stabbed his father with a lightsaber? No. My brother in arms. Somebody who could pilot any ship better than anyone I know. And get his ass out of any jam I've ever seen. Took his son's hands. Promised him eye to eye. I will help you, son. He made that promise to his child. Imagine that. Holding the hands of your son, watching them slip into the dark. And knowing in your heart, your Millennium Falcon's taken care of. The Wookiee will perform his life debt for Rey. Rey can have the Falcon. Give it to a light-bearing, positive energy, wonderful, new female Jedi. Look back on your life for a moment and look in the eyes of your son. Reach out, grab his hands, and turn on his lightsaber. I love Han Solo. I was his wingman for years, and he's gone. I knew when he started smuggling again there was something wrong. I knew when he left Princess Leia. General Organa needed him, but he needed to get some space, and he did it. And he found his son, and he gave his son a gift. The constant memory of what the dark side will lead to. More of this, more murder, more killing of children, more killing of families. And I really hope that Kylo Solo goes back to his mother. Because Princess Organa is an angel. And I don't even know if she's still alive right now. I haven't seen her. In a long, long time. And I love her like a sister. I love her more than anyone in the world except for Sharah and Poe. We are rebel. We are rebel. We are rebel. And we will find you. You think you can hide behind that white mask? You think you can hide behind a hologram? Snoke, I will tear your heart out myself. So my son can have peace. Finally, in this galaxy. You piece of shit. And if I discover, Snoke, that you're an earless, spineless Jar Jar Binks, I will kill you slowly. So slowly. Because without you, Jar Jar, Order 66 would have never fucking happened. We are rebel. We will kill you. We will find you. You want to hide under ice? Go to Hoth. We will find you. You want to hide in deserts, under sand, on Tatooine? We will find you. You think you can hide in a junk pile on Jakku? We will find you. We are rebel. We are rebel. We are rebel. And we are recruiting now. I am Kes Dameron, Pathfinder of General Han Solo. I will find you, you Imperial scum, and I will cut your heart out myself. Do we have the Force tree growing? Is that where my wife is this weekend? Watching carefully to make sure the last remnant of the Force tree on Coruscant is alive. We will build. We will rebuild every time. Snoke, I am coming for you. My son is coming for you. and we will eat your heart in a stew made of love, and we will be free of the tyranny of the Empire once and for all. May the Force be with you, and also with you, and also with you, and also with you. Find Kes Dameron at the Toronto Fan Expo. I will recruit you if your heart is mighty and beneficent. I will give you an X-Wing, I will give you a Y-Wing, I will give you a spanner, I will give you a bucket and a mop, and we will persevere. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I will see you in Toronto.